President Tinubu assures Nigerians of swift outcome on minimum wage as protests rock Lagos and other parts of the country on Democracy Day. Yobe State Police Command rescues baby from kidnappers' den. Thugs attack traders, media crew in Kano market over eviction order. On the foreign scene, Malawi government announces state funeral, 21 days of mourning on the death of the vice president. Hello and welcome to Trust News Hour. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. President Bola Tinubu has said his government has negotiated the new minimum wage in good faith and will soon send an executive bill to the National Assembly to legislate on the wage agreed upon for the next 5 years or less. President Tinubu made this known on Wednesday in his second Democracy Day speech on June 12, 2024. Here's the report and more from the Democracy Day activities as presented from our studio.
In his address to Nigerians, President Tinubu gave the assurance that an executive bill on the new national minimum wage for workers will soon be sent to the National Assembly for passage.
In this spirit, we have negotiated in good faith and with open arms with organized labor on a new national minimum wage. We shall soon send our executive bill to the National Assembly to enshrine what has been agreed upon as part of our law for the next 5 years or less. I take on this vital task without fear or favor, and I commit myself to this work until we have built a Nigeria where no man is oppressed.
On the state of the nation and the impact of some of the government policies on Nigerians, the president says hope lies ahead.
The reforms we have initiated are intended to create a stronger, better foundation for future growth. There is no doubt that the reform has occasioned hardship. I feel your pains. Yet there are necessary repairs required to fix the economy over the long run, so that everyone has access to economic opportunity, fair pay, and compensation for his endeavor and labor. As we continue to reform the economy, I shall always listen to the people and will never turn my back on you.
As part of the series of events to mark the day, the president, in company of his entourage, later on Wednesday morning converged on the Eagle Square, where he observed the Armed Forces Democracy Day Parade, in company of citizens and invited dignitaries from within and outside Nigeria. While the fanfare ran its course, the media space has been agog, following a misstep which led to President Tinubu tripping and falling as he attempted to board the parade jeep to observe the parade and wave Nigerians.
Resume of the reviewing officer, the special guest of honor and reviewing officer for today's historic occasion, His Excellency President.
While the development quickly started generating engagements online, the president's handlers described the incident as normal, adding that there is no cause for alarm.
In commemoration of Democracy Day, some protesters voiced concerns over Nigeria's economic crisis and soaring prices that have left many struggling to afford food. Demonstrators in Kaduna on Wednesday expressed their frustration with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership, stating that the high cost of living is nearly unbearable. Bella Musa has the story.
They are members of the Federation of Informal Workers in Nigeria, Kaduna State Chapter, and a coalition of civil society groups marking June 12 by expressing their grievances over the hardships in the country.
So there's no particular side of this country that people are really having it uhuru to themselves. That's why we are all, united in poverty. There's no cause for celebration. Nobody's celebrating the June 12th. Rather, we are mourning. And we are using this medium to call on the government. Yes, Labour is proposing an increase of minimum wage. But I can tell you that whether the government decides to pay a million naira increase as minimum wage, it will not solve any problem. All we need is the availability of food. Government should have a price control mechanism.
We are fighting for hunger. People are hungry. Honestly speaking, sometimes, like me, I am a hairdresser in Kaduna State. Sometimes I will stay for like a week without anybody coming to do hair because now people are looking for food to eat. So please, we are begging government to see what they can do for us so that they can reduce the prices of things. Because
Meanwhile, the People's Redemption Party in Kaduna, while marking Democracy Day, called on President Bola Tinubu to acknowledge his failures and resign. They emphasized that Nigeria has experienced some of its most difficult times during President Tinubu's tenure.
The advice we can give to the president is that he can kindly resign, give it to somebody, or do what the constitution, provision of the constitution has allowed. So there's nothing in resigning. It's even honoring, showing a kind gesture to Nigeria that he cannot, he has failed, then he has failed, that's why he's resigning. It's a honorable way to show Nigerians how caring he is, that he cannot deliver Nigeria, the value that people need, he cannot deliver, therefore he's resigning. It's honorable.
Academics, government officials, and other stakeholders are reflecting on Democracy Day by examining the leadership and economic approach of the current administration.
As I said, the wealth of nation is not about reducing poverty or fighting poverty. Nobody ever fought poverty within a short period of time. It will take a long time to fight poverty to a standstill, and then poverty will look at your window and not enter. What most governments are doing today is how to reduce poverty, not how to create wealth. Is to stand before you today on our Democracy Day, when we celebrate our struggle for entrenchment of the government of the people, for the people, by the people. It is a thing of joy and pride for all Nigerians that today we are celebrating 25 years of flourishing democracy. This could not have been possible without the sacrifices and doggedness of pro-democracy activists.
The June 12th Democracy Day celebration in Kaduna was low-key, with residents going about their day as security operatives remain vigilant across strategic locations to maintain law and order. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Thousands of Lagosians took to the streets in protest against the hardship and hunger in the country as part of their Democracy Day commemoration. The protesters demanded solutions from the Tinubu administration, which they say is responsible for the current predicament in the country.
The atmosphere was charged with emotions running high as protesters voiced their discontent, reversal of policies that have exacerbated hardship and hunger among the populace. The protesters are demanding tangible change. They argue that Nigeria, with its abundant wealth in mineral resources and human capital, should be able to provide a better quality of life for its citizens.
But despite their intimidation, the fact that Nigerians, youth and workers and poor people still came out to protest is a clear indication that Nigerians are not just hungry and angry. Nigerians have also lost their fear and they are going to fight whatever the intimidation. So this is a note of warning to President Tinubu. Today's protest is a message to him. Once he continues those ruinous anti-poor policies, then the protest of Nigerians, the rage of Nigerians will very soon come to his door. Very soon.
What we are demanding from him is that policies that will relieve the masses from their hungers. And we are here today in Lagos. And I want to put this straight to the media, that one of our comrades, the national coordinator of Take It Back movement, in person of Comrade Juwon, has been arrested, kidnapped yesterday evening. Up to date, Nigerian police have denied his arrest.
The DSS, the military, they were all releasing statements. Even the time of Boko Haram and kidnapping in Kaduna, they have not released their number of statements that have been released within 24 hours. Just because you don't want people to demonstrate, people to show their grievances that they are hungry. If we are under a true democracy, the governor should be here, the president should also send his representative to be here to come and listen to the plight of the people. If you say that you are for the government of the masses, you must be able to listen to their grievances. One thing is that you cannot beat a child and also determine how the child will cry. The tinubu regime is flogging us with koboko, and we have the audacity, we have the right, we have everything to cry the way we feel that we are being paid.
The protesters mirrored the demands of labor for better living conditions while urging the Tinubu government to fix power in Nigeria's ailing economy.
The June 12 saga had put Nigeria on a collision course, with protests reverberating across parts of the country, following the annulment of what has been adjudged the most free and fair election in Nigeria's history to date. In this report, Abdullahi Ahmed chronicles the key issues that shaped June 12.
Before the June 12 saga in Nigeria, the country was facing a tumultuous political landscape. The military regime led by General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida had annulled the presidential election held on June 12, 1993, which to many was regarded as free and fair. This action sparked widespread protest and unrest across the country, as many Nigerians demanded the restoration of democracy and the recognition of the election results, which had favored Chief Moshood Abiola, popularly known as MKO. The aftermath of the June 12 saga saw a period of political uncertainty and repression. General Sani Abacha seized power in a military coup and ruled with an iron fist, suppressing dissent and opposition. Chief MKO Abiola, the presumed winner of the annulled election, was arrested and detained by the military government. His incarceration symbolized the struggle for democracy and the fight against authoritarian rule in Nigeria. During this dark period, Nigeria faced international isolation and condemnation due to its human rights abuses and a lack of democratic governance. Economic sanctions were imposed, further exacerbating Nigeria's woes. The plight of political prisoners, including Chief MKO Abiola, garnered global attention, and calls for their release echoed around the world. Despite the repression, the spirit of democracy remained alive in Nigeria. Civil society organizations, human rights activists, and ordinary citizens continued to advocate for the restoration of democracy and the rule of law. The resilience of the Nigerian people in the face of adversity became a source of inspiration both domestically and internationally. The turning point came with the sudden death of General Sani Abacha in 1998, which paved the way for a transition to civilian rule. General Abdulsalami Abubakar assumed power and initiated a process of political reform, including the release of Chief MKO Abiola and the organization of new elections in the country. In 1999, Nigeria held its first democratic elections in nearly 16 years, ushering in a new era of civilian rule. The June 12 experience remains a defining moment in Nigeria's history, symbolizing the struggle for democracy and the resilience of the Nigerian people in the face of tyranny. It serves as a reminder of the importance of upholding democratic values and principles and the need to remain vigilant against any threat to democratic governance.
In marking this year's Democracy Day, we put the spotlight on political parties and their immeasurable role in shaping the landscape of Nigeria's democracy. Here is Aminu Uguda with a historical perspective of this development.
Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and largest democracy, is a rich tapestry of political history. Since the return to democracy in 1999, the nation has witnessed the rise and fall of various political parties, each leaving a distinct mark on the electoral landscape. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, was the dominant force in Nigeria's politics for the first 16 years of the Fourth Republic. In 1999, the PDP's candidate, Olusegun Obasanjo, won the presidential election with significant national support, especially in the southwest and north-central zones. 4 years later, in 2003, Obasanjo was re-elected, defeating Muhammadu Buhari of the All Nigeria People's Party, ANPP. In 2007, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, also of the PDP, won the presidency, but his tenure was cut short by illness and subsequent death in 2010. His vice president, Goodluck Jonathan, assumed office. In the 2011 presidential poll, Goodluck Jonathan won the presidency, securing votes across the Deep South and Southeast regions, but faced significant opposition in the north. By 2015, the PDP faced a significant defeat as Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress, APC, won the presidency, making it the first time an incumbent president lost a re-election bid. In 2019, the PDP's candidate, Atiku Abubakar, a former vice president, was defeated by Buhari. The PDP maintained a stronghold in the southeast and deep south regions, but could not secure enough support nationally. In 2023, Atiku Abubakar ran again, but was unsuccessful. The PDP continued to show significant strength in certain regions, but struggled to regain its former national dominance. The All Progressives Congress was formed in 2013 through a merger of 4 opposition parties: the Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, the All Nigeria People's Party, ANPP, and a faction of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. In 2015, Muhammadu Buhari became the first APC president, winning widespread support, particularly in the north and southwest. The victory ended the PDP's 16-year rule. After a somewhat tumultuous first term in office, Buhari was re-elected, maintaining strongholds in the northwest, northeast, and southwest regions. In 2023, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos and a key APC figure, won the presidency. His campaign capitalized on APC's established strongholds and made inroads in regions previously dominated by the PDP. Before merging into the APC, the ACN played a significant role in the southwest. In 2007, the ACN's presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, performed relatively well in the southwest, but did not win the presidency. The ANPP was a major opposition party before merging into the APC. Between 2003 and 2007, Muhammadu Buhari ran under the ANPP banner, securing significant votes in the north but losing to the PDP candidates. In the later years, parties like the SDP and LP began gaining traction, particularly in localized regions. In 2023, the Labour Party's candidate, Peter Obi, garnered substantial support, particularly among young voters and in the southeast, highlighting a shift towards newer political movements. From 1999 to 2023, Nigerian politics has been characterized by the rise and fall of major political parties. With the PDP and APC dominating the landscape, each election cycle brought new dynamics reflecting the evolving political preferences of the Nigerian populace. As the nation continues its democratic journey, The impact of these parties and their candidates will shape the future of Nigeria's political landscape.
With another celebration of Democracy Day, Nigerians seek to understand the significance of June 12 and the role the National Assembly has played in ensuring democracy dividends to all citizens. Senator Yusuf, a member of the Ninth Assembly, addresses these questions and the public's expectations. Trust TV's Amarachi Amushi has the report.
June 12th has become a significant day in Nigeria due to its association with the country's democratic journey. Senator Yusuf of the Ninth Assembly reminded Nigerians of the importance of June 12th and their rights as citizens.
It's so significant because democracy is the rule that involves the people and by the people and for the people. Contrary, to a system of government that is dictatorship. So people have a free will to choose who they want to choose, and then observe the governance, where the governance is not to their own expectation, they change.
As Senator of the Ninth Assembly addressed Nigerians on the role of the National Assembly and the legislature in ensuring that the dividends of democracy reach all citizens.
Democracy is conscience, freedom of conscience. So, and the parliament is the representative of the people, and they have to carry, the burden of people as if it is their own personal, burden. And for me, I think over time, yes, we are learning to synchronize with the thinking of the people that voted, the parliament into power. So I think that is also, one of the major challenges in terms of bridging the gap of communication between those who voted people into power and those who are voted.
The senator also explained why the National Assembly has failed to effectively represent the people who voted them into office, often succumbing to the influence of the president.
I think one, the expectation of the people. Because the moment people are voted into power, the people who voted them into power, have a lot of expectation as what they should do. Yes, there might be some elements of rubber stamping because of sentiments, especially where you have majority of the people from a ruling party. They tend to favor or they tend to play along, to beat the bidding of the executive. However, it shouldn't be so, because executive is supposed to be checked by the parliament.
This year's commemoration comes amidst a series of economic challenges which has negatively impacted millions of Nigerians with record-breaking inflation figures and soaring food prices. The legislature has been criticized for failing to adequately address the gap in the polity. Amarachi Amoshi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Speaker of the Plateau State Assembly, Gabriel Dewan, said Nigerian leaders have failed to perform their responsibilities, neglecting to provide dividends of democracy to their citizens. The Speaker said this on Tuesday while briefing journalists in Jos, the state capital, on Nigeria's 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. According to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, it was unfortunate that despite the country's natural resources, Nigeria is still lagging behind in terms of development. He explained that many countries that adopted democracy after Nigeria's independence have already developed. Buttressing his position on development in the country, the Speaker noted that it is only in Nigeria today that a Minister of Health is seeking medical attention at a private hospital rather than a public hospital.
Consideration to the resources that Nigeria have and the natural resources that God has blessed Nigeria, I will tell you that we Nigerian leaders, I'm saying we because I'm in position today, we are failed Nigerians. I'm saying without apology to anybody, we are failed Nigerians because Nigeria ought to be far better than it is, considering the natural resources at disposal. There are countries who don't have what Nigeria have, that they are far better. In fact, at the point in time, some of us begin to imagine, or is it better we go back to military government? Because virtually most of the infrastructure in this country are being built by the military government. Even the creation of the states, the local government, all have been done by military government. Most of our federal highways have been built by the military government.
According to former President Muhammadu Buhari, the Democracy Day was highlighted to recognize democratic struggles in Nigeria through the annulment of the June 12, 1993 elections and the presidency of Moshood Abiola. In Benue State, residents are speaking on the gains and setbacks more than 2 decades after. Jimmy Azande reports.
May 29 this year, the current democratic dispensation clocked 25 years. Residents of Makurdi are saying there is so much to rejoice, in spite of obvious setbacks.
At least we are now sure of economic freedom, social freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of speech and expression. So far, so good. Local government administration so far during 25 years of democracy has been comatose. It has not been functional. It is a tier of government only in name, not in practice. But I think with the dynamic local government reforms and autonomy, there is a hope.
Democracy, in every sense, is supposed to be a government that is for the people. And so far, we can say, well, 1 or 2 developments, we have witnessed some developments.
Other gains of democracy, they say, include
a smooth journey, though with some little problems, but the gains are better. Nigeria, we have gained so much in peace, unity, we have gained in development, area of interaction with other countries too. It has been so fine.
And even in the aspect of agriculture, we have had a sweet time engaging in agricultural reforms.
They also mentioned areas where the political allies can improve to promote good governance.
There is a need, an optimal need, however, for them to educate our political gladiators and civil liberty organizations on the tenets of good democracy, like justice, equity, and fair play to all.
The area of distribution of farm inputs. The targeted farmers are not necessarily reached.
You can see we have directed roads, especially in Benue State. You can see the road from Makurdi, Naka to Adoka. It's very, very parallel.
We have to improve the area of security and economy, particularly, because these are the areas we have other problems coming from.
We need improvement in the quality of what we are doing. And like we're talking about, I have said we have many schools, but what is the content? What quality? What are we producing?
In spite of the economic challenges, Nigerians are hoping that the leaders at all levels will do better to provide dividends of democracy to all citizens. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
As Imo State marks the 2024 Democracy Day, residents express disappointment and frustration, expressing feelings that democracy has failed to deliver its promised dividends. Despite the occasion, celebrators in the state are limited, with stakeholders and citizens alike lamenting the country's retrogression. Ajibade Press has more.
Despite the occasion, celebrations in the state are limited, with stakeholders and citizens alike lamenting the country's retrogression.
There's nothing to celebrate much because everybody is hungry.
If you go to the market, the price of rice, price of garri, everything is skyrocketed. Fuel is on increase.
Leadership is supposed to be about the people. And if leadership does not connect to the people, then it's not good leadership. If the people are suffering, it's not good leadership. So I encourage the government to look into the challenges in the system.
That the June 12th celebration is not worthy to be celebrated by Nigerians, because if we want to celebrate June 12th, there should be a system where the people will be happy. Nigerians should be happy because we have everything. Look, can you talk about power? We have no power, no light. What are you talking about? The fuel? You cannot talk about that.
Eze Oliver Ohawe, the traditional ruler of Isiala Mbano, described the high levels of insecurity and economic hardship, lamenting the nation's developmental setbacks.
Democracy is government for the people and the people. But in Nigeria, democracy in Nigeria is for certain individuals. As a traditional ruler, you people know me. I'm concerned about the masses who voted our people. Masses who cried and exited the military regime, the dictatorship.
Theophilus Ekechi, an APC chieftain, shares similar concerns, echoing the sentiments of many stakeholders in the political sphere.
But more importantly, the fact that we are going through all that we have, and yet we continue to sing the national anthem together. We continue to raise the green, white, green flag in unity. In spite of all the disgruntled tendencies, I think we have done well.
As Nigeria celebrates its 25th Democracy Day, many remain delusioned, expecting more progress and solutions to the country's numerous problems. Nigerians question why the country's democracy is falling short of expectations in addressing these issues, which should have been alleviated or minimized. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, 6-year single-term proposal for president and governors divides Nigerians. We'll have more news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. President Tinubu assures Nigerians of swift outcome of minimum wage as protests rock Lagos and other parts of the country on Democracy Day. The Oyo State Police Command has rescued a toddler from the kidnappers' den and apprehended the gang leader. The public relations officer of the command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim, stated this in a statement and issued to newsmen in Damaturu, the state capital. He said the toddler was rescued by the police personnel from Gujba Divisional Police Headquarters while responding to a distress call. According to him, the incident happened when armed men intruded into the survivor's residence at the Bungai village, near the Gujba local government area, shooting with bows and arrows and firing guns, thereby threatening the inhabitants and forcefully whisking away the toddler Adam Musani, aged 3, old to an unknown destination. The police spokesperson said in the course of the intensive intelligence-led operations and in collaboration with vigilante groups, the kidnappers then was discovered in Buniyadi town and aggressively raided the enclave where the gang leader Wanya Usman was arrested in custody of the toddler, while other syndicate members fled. In May 2024, the Katsina State Police Command reported a total of 18 major cases, including armed robbery, kidnappings, culpable homicide, and cattle rustling. Of these cases, 12 have been charged to court. Additionally, 8 suspected bandits have been neutralized, 87 kidnapped victims have been rescued, and 150 suspected rustled animals have been recovered. Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the story.
The Katsina State Police Command has also successfully arrested the trio of Haladi Isa from Safana local government Abubakar Ahmad Katsina and Adamu Baude from Niger Republic in connection with purchase of arms and ammunition to bandits in Katsina forests. The suspected arms smugglers and gun runners were arrested in Keita local government area of Katsina State and also found in possession of 1.2 million naira cash.
Information was received through the Divisional Police Officer, Keita Local Government Area, in person of CSP Mahmoud Isa, of the activities of these criminals, so to say, and the DPO promptly mobilized operatives where he trailed and succeeded in arresting the trio.
Similarly, the police arrested another suspect, Nafi Yunusa, in connection with an attempt to commit kidnapping at Runjambaushi village of Bindawa local government area of Katsina State. The suspect specialized in calling his unsuspecting members of the public using his phone, threatening them to pay certain amounts of money or risk being kidnapped, or any of their family members.
In this case, the suspect called one of his cousins, threatening him to pay the sum of 250,000 naira through his first bank account number, or else risk the kidnap of his mother. Upon receipt of a complaint letter by the complainant, the Commissioner of Police promptly deployed detectives to investigate and ensure the arrest of this suspect.
On the recent dastardly act by suspected bandits in Kankara local government, where over 50 people, including security operatives, were killed, the command's spokesman speaks on the next line of action.
Security situation in Kankara local government area has been relatively calm, as the Commissioner of Police, Katsina State Police Command, CP Ali Abubakar Musa, has deployed additional operational assets in order to improve the security situation of the Kankara local government area. And also the command is actively pursuing all leads, especially with regards to the recent incident in Kankara, and he also expressed his condolences to the families and friends of the deceased.
Katsina residents who are anxiously waiting the improvement of the state's security status expressed their support to the police and other security agencies to defeat the enemies of the state to guarantee law and order. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Mourners from the area community in Bayelsa State gathered to pay their respects to Alhaji Aliyu Awalu, a victim of armed robbery. According to eyewitnesses, Yusuf was shot and killed by robbers on Tuesday evening in Yenagua while traveling in a commercial bus. Trust TV Friday Ibimo Bowe Peter completes the story.
The robbers allegedly demanded his money and phone, which he refused before being shot. The deceased eldest son spoke at the burial site where Yusuf was laid to rest according to Muslim custom.
The moment I left my father is around 7:55. I went to the house. He told me that he went to the house to want to bath. Immediately I come house, I go to the chemist and take injection. I off my phone around 8 o'clock. I put an alarm on my phone to wake me around 10:30. As the phone just on, a call come from my home with my brother. My brother asked me, "Did I know what happened?" I said, "What happened?" They said they shoot my father. I said, "What?" But I myself have already leave everything for God, because I don't have anything to say. Every person must test that dead. Whether you kill my father today, you dead tomorrow. Is what I have to say.
The chairman of the Arua community in Bayelsa and other stakeholders have called on the government to improve security in the state, but have ruled out retaliatory actions.
Without peace, there won't be development in the states. So we are in grief, in serious grief. We are calling His Excellency, Senator Doyedri, the miracle governor, as is popularly known. Please let him do the miracle. Let him do the miracle, so that this killing will stop, so that we'll have a peace in the states.
I know him to be a very good man. Like I said, if you go by my name, I'm a Christian, and he's a Muslim. But I choose him to work with, not because I don't have other Christians to work with me, but I have seen the sincerity in him. Alhaji is one man that when you are in trouble, call him. whether in the midnight, he will be there for you. And he is someone who does not support evil. That is the person we are here to bury. Best administration, we praise our miracle governor in terms of security and other relative issues. But this time around, things are going off hand. From that Imbi Junction to St. Jude's area, the security lights are not functioning again. And so many incidents have been happening there. I worship at St. Matthias there. I used to hear, I used to see. So government should take some proactive measures.
The police public relations officer, ASP Musa Mohammed, confirmed that investigations into the incident have begun and urged anyone with useful information to come forward to help bring justice to the deceased family. From Yanagwa, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yanagwa.
Hundreds of traders have been displaced from the popular Kantin Quarry market after Kano state government directed them to vacate their temporary shops. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the traders are asking the state government to reconsider its decision or provide them with permanent place.
These are temporary shops attached to Kano Eid ground where thousands of traders earn a living for years. There are at least 5,000 traders here who have been directed to vacate the premises by the Kano state government. According to these traders, they were instructed by the State Urban Planning and Development Authority to leave the area without an alternative to conduct their business dealings, leaving them in limbo. Earlier, the Kanubda had asked us to vacate this place, and we told them we are going to move our goods gradually. Unfortunately, we wake up this morning with some thugs who forced us to start removing our goods, stealing our goods. For now, we don't have any other place to continue doing our businesses. Even though we are the people who vote our governor, Abba Kabir, we voted for him, we loved him, but this is where it brings us to. They have completely destroyed our lives. While protesting the government's decisions, the traders say earlier in the day, thugs were sent to force them out. The thugs who later attacked Trust TV and Daily Trust crew while filming the damages done to the traders. Well, at the moment they have damages all our goods. Some were stolen by the thugs who came here, and then for now we don't know what to do. We are just asking the governor to reconsider his decision by providing us with alternative place where we can continue doing our trade. At the moment, all the temporary shops at the Kofarmata Eid ground have been destroyed, as traders say they have lost their life savings. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Nigerians have expressed divergent views over the proposed single tenure of 6 years for the office of president and state governors and the tenure rotation between the 6 geopolitical zones. This development appears to have already divided members of the House of Representatives. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has the report.
A group of lawmakers in the House of Representatives is championing bills to change the tenure of the president and governors to a single term of 6 years. This proposal are part of the 6 constitutional amendment bills introduced by the lawmakers on the floor of the House. Both residents react to the move by the lawmakers.
I don't know what they mean. I don't know their intention. I don't know if that is their motive. But if this is the case, I think it's a good agitation for each of the region to have a taste of ruling the country, which I believe is quite okay because of the reasons that each of the region want to separate from one another. So if that is what will bring the succor for the country, I think it's a good agitation.
One of the alterations seeks to amend Section 3 of the Constitution to provide for the recognition of the division of Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones to allow for equal representation and reduce the tempo of agitations across the country.
Of this for 6 years, it's okay, but let's be wise and know whom we will vote for. Let's think well. Let's remove tribalism. Let's remove anything that will bring destruction in this country. Let's vote for the right person.
The lawmakers are also seeking an amendment for an independent consolidated local government council account solely superintended by local councils, while seeking long-term imprisonment for any misuse of local government funds. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, inaugurated the 2024 Charismatic Bishops' Synod in Abuja with a call for religious leaders to foster peace, unity, and hope among Nigerians. Expressing gratitude for the spiritual leaders' role, Mohammed Idris emphasized the need for greater collaboration between religious institutions and the government to build a nation grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. Acknowledging the challenges facing Nigeria, Mohammed Idris underscored the importance of decisive and forward-looking actions. He highlighted the government's deployment of non-kinetic measures to address insecurity, targeting the root causes such as poverty, joblessness, and neglect. As part of these efforts, Mohammed Idris referenced the launch of the 50 billion naira Polarco initiative, focusing on 7 states most affected by banditry. The initiative aims to address conflict resolution, community reconstruction, and provide agricultural assistance to farmers and herders in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Niger, Kaduna, Benue, and Kebbi states. We now join Yusuf Akogu for business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The World Bank on Tuesday affirmed a 3.3% economic growth forecast for Nigeria in 2024, saying the Nigerian's economy was buoyant in the early part of the year despite macroeconomic adjustments. The World Bank, however, downgraded its forecast for Nigeria's economic growth in 2025 to 3.5% from the 3.7% forecast made in January. Similarly, the World Bank downgraded its forecast for sub-Saharan economic growth in 2024 to 3.0% from 3.8% forecast made in January. The World Bank report stated that the growth in sub-Saharan Africa weakened to 3.0% in 2023, while growth in the 3 largest economies in the region, Nigeria, South Africa, and Angola, remain weak. Revenue from value-added tax, VAT, and company income tax, CIT, rose by 105% year-on-year to 2.42 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024 from 1.18 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2023. The National Bureau of Statistics disclosed this on Tuesday in its VAT and CIT report for Q1 2024. The report showed that VAT revenue grew year-on-year by 101.65% to 1.43 trillion naira in Q1 2024 from 709.59 billion naira in Q1 2023. Similarly, CIT revenue rose year-on-year by 109.9% to 984.61 billion naira in Q1 2023. In terms of sectoral contributions, the top 3 largest share in Q1 2023 were manufacturing sector with 26.7%, information and communication with 17.42%, and mining acquiring activities with 15.42%. NGX is closed today for public holiday, of course, as Nigeria marks Democracy Day. But let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil prices tick higher on Wednesday after three key forecasters predicted that the global oil inventory will fall in the second half of 2024, boosting prices. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $82 per barrel. For the OPEC basket, price steadies at $80 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
On the foreign scene, the Malawi government said Wednesday that Vice President Carlos Chilima will be honored with a state funeral after he died in a plane crash along with 8 other persons. President Lazarus Chakwera also announced 21 days of national mourning on Tuesday when the wreckage of the small military plane carrying Chilima and a former First Lady was discovered in a mountainous area in the country's north. Flags will fly at half-mast, half-serve across the southern African nation during the period of mourning. Chakwera was appointed a ministerial committee to oversee preparations for Chilima's state funeral. President Chakwera previously said that there were 10 people on the plane, but the government now says that a total of 9 persons were on board when it crashed. We now go for Sports News with Emmanuel Fashemi.
Nasarawa United Football Club of Lafia and Ekanemi Warriors of Maiduguri have secured tickets to return to the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) after playing one season at the Nigerian National League (NNL). Recall that Nasarawa United and Ekanemi Warriors were both relegated to the Nigerian National League last season from Nigerian Premier Football League. At the final group matches of the Super 8 promotional playoffs played simultaneously at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium and University of Nigeria Enugu Campus Stadium, the Solid Miners booked their NPFL ticket after beating Sporting Supreme FC of Abuja 2-1 to finish with 9 points, while Ekanemi Warriors trashed pointless Sokoto United 4-1 to pick the second ticket, having 6 points from the league's Northern Conference. Ogun State-based Beyond Limits FC and Ikorodu United FC of Lagos also booked their places to play in the Nigerian Premier Football League next season after they all finished at 7 and 5 points respectively, with victories over Inter Lagos and Madiba FC in the final games of the Southern Conference. The results from the Southern Conference, however, shows that Beyond Limits emerged the group winners with 7 points, while Ikorodu United finished second with 5 points. Nasarawa United will face Beyond Limits in the grand finale on Thursday as both teams emerge winners of their respective conferences to decide the eventual winners of the 2024 NNL season. Nigerian women's discus thrower Chioma Onyekwere is set to make a huge impression at this weekend's NYC Grand Prix and Nigeria Trials, which will hold from June 16th to 18th inside the main bowl of Samuel Ogbumdia Stadium, Benin City, Edo State, following a sterling outing at the 2024 USATF New York City Grand Prix. The 28-year-old threw a season's best of 61.35 meters at Akan Stadium to finish second behind Cuba's Yamin Perez, who heaved 68.31 meters, while Jade Lally of Great Britain took the bronze with a throw of 59.30 meters. The Nigerian and African champion expressed her readiness for this weekend's NYC Grand Prix and the Olympics trials in a post on her social media page with a video of her doing what she knows to do best, testing my balance out this weekend at the NYC Grand Prix. Finished with a season best of 61.35 meters at Akan Stadium. Next up are the Olympic trials. She is one of several foreign-based stars who have qualified for the Olympics but are mandated to participate in the Olympics trials by Athletics Federation of Nigerian President Tonobo Kokoa, who insists the event will determine who represent the country at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Chioma Onyekwere, who set a national record of 64.96 meters in 2023 and has competed at 3 World Championships, qualified for the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo but didn't participate, being one of the 10 Nigerian athletes disqualified for not undergoing the required pre-Olympics dope test. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashini.
To end the news hour on Trust TV, do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms. and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Thanks for watching.